3 days. That is the word, that is the time, that is the moment appointed. 3 days, the same span that changed everything from death to life, from darkness to light, from despair to resurrection. And so now the trumpet sounds again. A mystery is unfolding, a divine countdown set in motion, not by man, but by the hand of the Almighty. You see, there are no coincidences in the economy of God. Nothing just happens. Everything is appointed, everything has a season, and every moment echoes with eternal purpose. And now we stand at the edge of a sacred threshold. What is coming is not ordinary, it is prophetic, it is a convergence, a shaking, yes, but also a revealing. The Lord is not silent, He is not absent, He is not passive. The Spirit is speaking clearly, urgently, precisely, and the voice cries out, 3 days. In the pattern of Scripture, 3 days is never just a number, it is always a sign. It was 3 days that Esther fasted before the king opened the door. It was 3 days that Jonah spent in the belly of the great fish before he was released to his calling. It was 3 days of blindness for Saul before he was transformed into Paul. And it was on the 3rd day that the stone rolled away and everything changed. And now, once again, we are brought to that sacred count. Within these next 3 days, align your heart. The Lord is separating, the Lord is revealing, the Lord is overturning the tables. What has been hidden will be exposed. What has been broken will be confronted. What has been withheld will be released. But hear this, the window will not remain open forever. As it was in the days of Noah, the door was open until it was not. So it is again. You are being called urgently to turn, to repent, to prepare, to be found not in the noise of this world, but in the stillness of His presence. The systems of this age are trembling, the idols are falling, the foundations are being tested, and the Spirit says, what I have spoken, I will perform. What I have promised, I will fulfill. But you must be ready. The next 3 days are not random. They are divine. Watch the signs. Listen closely. He will speak through the wind. He will whisper in the storm. He will thunder through the silence. And those who have ears to hear, they will understand. Do not fear the shaking. Do not fear the turning. For it is not wrath that is coming, but mercy dressed as urgency. Grace clothed in fire. A wake-up call to the sleeping, a beacon to the wandering, a moment of divine intervention. 3 days. This is your warning. This is your calling. This is your window. Prepare the way, for the Lord is about to move. The number is not a symbol alone. It is an appointment. It is not born of man's calendar or crafted from religious tradition. It is sealed in the courts of heaven. When God speaks a time, it is not suggestion, it is decree. And when He marks a span of 3 days, something sacred is about to cross the threshold of the natural and break into the world of men. Do you sense it? The stirring beneath the surface, the trembling under your feet. The atmosphere is charged. Heaven is leaning close. The veil is thinner than ever, and the Spirit is brooding over the deep once more. Just as He did in the beginning when the earth was formless and void, so now He hovers again, waiting for the word to be spoken, for the light to break forth, for the darkness to scatter. Not a delay, but a countdown. There are things God does in silence. There are preparations made in secret. And when He brings them forth, it is sudden. A suddenly that shifts destinies. A suddenly that redefines history. Do not mistake silence for absence. He has been moving all along in the shadows, in the stillness, in the waiting. But now the clock is turning. Just as it was in Egypt when the final plague came. For 9 times Pharaoh hardened his heart. For 9 times Egypt was shaken, But it was on the threshold of that final moment that God spoke to Moses, and he gave a time. In 3 days I will pass through the land, and in 3 days the judgment fell and deliverance rose. The blood on the doorposts marked the distinction, and the Lord passed over his people. So now again he is calling his people to mark the doorposts of their lives, not with ritual, but with readiness, not with fear, but with faith. He is saying, set yourself apart, purify your heart, come out from among them, prepare the way of the Lord. In 3 days, decisions will be sealed. Paths will be revealed. Some doors will shut and not reopen. Others will swing wide with divine favor. But you must be positioned. You must be awake. You must be found watching, not slumbering in the comfort of complacency, but standing in the alertness of the Spirit. This is not the time for distraction. This is not the hour for compromise. Do not give your strength to what cannot save you. Do not pour your oil into cracked vessels. The midnight cry is approaching, and only those with oil in their lamps will rise to meet the bridegroom. He is warning because he loves. He is shaking because he is merciful. He is uprooting not to destroy, but to plant again, stronger, purer, truer. That's what he said. It is not a suggestion. It is not open-ended. It is a prophetic decree, and we must respond, because the response will determine what comes next. The window is narrow. The time is holy. The next 3 days are an altar. What you place upon it will echo far beyond this moment. It will touch generations. It will move the unseen. It will either become the place of breakthrough or the place of bypass. In 3 days, he split the sea for Moses. In 3 days, he gave courage to Esther. In 3 days, he humbled Saul and raised up Paul. In 3 days, he shook the heavens for Elijah and brought down fire. And in 3 days, he broke the curse of sin and death, tore the veil, shattered the tomb, and rose in glory. So what do you think he cannot do in your life in 3 days? He is able, he is willing, but he is waiting for your yes. The next 3 days are a divine threshold. You can either step over it or stay behind it, but you cannot do both. You cannot hold on to the past and embrace the future at once. You cannot drink from the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. You cannot stand at the edge of destiny and shrink back into delay. The time has come to choose, and not in the shallow way of words, but in the depth of surrender. These days are not for spectators. They are for participators in the purposes of God. He is searching the earth not for the most talented, but the most surrendered. Not for the loudest, but the purest. Not for the ones who know everything, but for the ones who are willing to obey anything. The winds are shifting. The old systems are crumbling, and he is raising up voices not from palaces, but from wildernesses. Not from institutions, but from secret places. People who have been hidden, people who have wrestled with God in the night, people who have no agenda but his glory. In the next 3 days, the Lord will begin to uncover the hidden ones. He will begin to expose what has been rotting beneath polished exteriors. He will begin to ignite fires in places that have long been cold. He will begin to speak dreams in the night and confirm them in the day. Some of you will weep without knowing why, because the Spirit is drawing near. Some of you will wake at strange hours because heaven is stirring your spirit. Some of you will be led to release things, relationships, habits, comfort zones, because God is making room for the new. This is not about religion. This is not about tradition. This is about encounter. The living God is drawing near. He is not a concept. He is not a theory. He is the I am, the same yesterday, today, and forever. And he is coming to reveal himself again, not just in churches, but in the streets, in the homes, in the hearts of those who will receive him. Do not harden your heart. Do not delay your obedience. There is a cost to hesitation. There is a consequence to apathy. Lot's wife lingered, and she turned to salt. The rich young ruler hesitated and walked away grieving. But those who obey without delay, they walk into glory. These 3 days are not only a countdown, they are a covenant. He is offering an exchange. Your ashes for beauty, your mourning for joy, your heaviness for praise. But the exchange only happens on the altar, and the altar must be built in your heart. Tear down the idols, tear down the compromise, tear down the excuses, make space for his fire to fall, because it will. The Lord is not playing games. He is not suggesting, he is commanding. Not from arrogance, but from love, because he knows what's coming, because he sees what you cannot, because he has already gone before you and made a way, but you must walk in it. What? Be wet. Listen. Move when he says move. Speak when he says speak. Be still when he says be still. There are assignments about to be released, scrolls unsealed, strategies downloaded, alignments formed, chains broken, mantles passed, and destinies awakened. He is calling you out of the shallow and into the deep, out of convenience and into covenant, out of lukewarm safety and into burning surrender. And in 3 days, the line will be drawn. Those who step across it will never be the same. They will carry a fire that cannot be quenched. They will walk in a boldness not born of man. They will see miracles, not because they chased signs, but because they carried the presence. There is no more time to waste. There is no more time to pretend. The kingdoms of this world are trembling, and the kingdom of our God is rising. The king is not coming to fit into your schedule. He is coming to take over, to rule, to reign, to reclaim what is his. You were born for this hour. You were chosen for this moment. 3 days. What will you do with them? He already knows. But do you? Because what he said will happen will happen. And when it does, may you be found not hiding, not wandering, not sleeping, but ready. You must understand this is not a warning for fear's sake. This is a call to awaken. Heaven is not in panic. Heaven is not shaken, but heaven is moving. And when heaven moves, the earth feels it. Creation groans, the wind shifts, the spirit realm stirs, and now the voice of the Lord resounds again, not through thunder, but through the whisper that breaks mountains and divides seas. What is set in motion cannot be undone. The word has gone forth. The decree has left his lips, and it will not return void. He is watching over it to perform it. It is already unfolding. In realms you cannot see, in atmospheres you cannot control, in dimensions beyond flesh and blood. The natural world is a shadow. The real war is unseen. But the unseen is about to manifest. That which has been hidden is coming to light. That which has been delayed is being accelerated. That which has been bound is being released. He is the God of the turnaround. He is the God of the suddenly. He is the God who speaks into the tomb and commands the dead to rise. He is the God who doesn't wait for perfect conditions. He creates them. And he is about to create a moment that shifts your entire story. But you must be aligned. Alignment precedes assignment. Consecration precedes manifestation. You cannot walk in resurrection power if you're still clinging to the grave clothes of your past. He is speaking even now to those who will listen Lay it down, let it go, return to me. He is confronting idols, not just the golden ones built with hands, but the subtle ones. The idol of comfort, the idol of control, the idol of opinion, the idol of self. The things we defend, the things we justify, the things we hide behind. In 3 days, the light of God will pierce the shadows of many hearts. And when the light comes, it exposes, not to shame, but to heal, not to condemn, but to cleanse, not to tear down, but to rebuild on rock that cannot be shaken. Some of you have been standing at the edge of breakthrough for years, circling the same mountain, asking the same questions, waiting for a sign. This is your sign. The delay is ending, but the cost remains. God is not looking for a convenient yes. He's looking for a complete surrender. He cannot fill what is already full. He cannot lead where he is not Lord. He cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. The time for partial obedience has ended. The time for lukewarm devotion has passed. The days of borrowed fire are over. The oil must be your own. The altar must be personal. The sacrifice must be pure. In the next 3 days, he will confront your priorities. He will test your affections. He will shake what can be shaken, so that what cannot be shaken will remain. And what will remain? Faith that has been refined like gold, hearts that burn with holy fire, eyes that see beyond the temporal, voices that speak only what he says, feet that walk where he leads, even if the path leads through fire. Because in the fire he reveals himself. It was in the fire that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego found him, walking beside them. It was in the fire that the bonds were burned off. It was in the fire that the truth was declared, there is no other God who can deliver like this. And now the fire is coming again, not to destroy, but to purify, not to consume, but to consecrate, not to punish, but to prepare. He is separating wheat from chaff. He is dividing soul from spirit. He is marking those who belong to him. The seal of the Lord is being pressed into the hearts of the surrendered. And those who carry his seal will walk in authority, not the authority of men, not titles, not platforms, but the authority that comes from intimacy, from walking with him in the cool of the day, from kneeling in secret, from obeying in silence. You will not need to announce yourself. His presence will go before you. You will not need to strive. His Spirit will confirm you. You will not need to defend your calling. He will vindicate you. But you must be found in a secret place, because in the next 3 days, decisions are being made in heaven. Books are being opened, scrolls are being released. And the question is not, will God move? The question is, will you be part of what he's doing? Many will miss it, not because they were evil, but because they were distracted. Not because they hated God, but because they loved comfort more. The invitation is extended. The table is set. But only those who respond will taste what he's prepared. And for those who do, oh, the glory that awaits. The encounters, the intimacy, the signs and wonders, not for show, but for souls. Miracles that restore families, words of knowledge that unlock destinies, dreams that reveal blueprints, and a harvest unlike anything this generation has seen. But the vessel must be clean. The heart must be yielded. The soul must be still. He is not coming to visit, he is coming to dwell. And where he dwells, nothing remains the same. Barrenness becomes fruitfulness. Ashes become beauty. Chains become testimonies. This is the moment before the rain. This is the silence before the sound. This is the whisper before the roar. And for those who hear it, for those who heed it, for those who prepare their hearts, what is coming will be glory upon glory. But for those who dismiss it, for those who say maybe later, for those who cling to their idols, what is coming will shake everything they trusted in. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot walk two roads. You cannot carry his glory while bowing to the systems of this world. The Lord is drawing a line in the sand, not to punish, but to purify, not to divide, but to reveal, because it was always about the heart, always about the bride made ready, and she will be ready. She will rise radiant. She will shine like the dawn. She will move not in fear, but in authority. She will stand not in arrogance, but in brokenness made whole. She will love not with human love, but with divine compassion, because she will know her bridegroom. She will have oil in her lamp. She will have fire in her bones. She will have truth in her mouth. And when the shout comes at midnight, she will not be found sleeping. She will rise. You are that bride. You are that voice. You are that vessel. But the question remains, will you be ready in 3 days? Because what God has spoken, he will do. And when it happens, may you be found not wondering what could have been, but walking in what he ordained before the foundations of the world. 3 days. He said it. It will happen. 3 days. That is the appointed time. Not a suggestion. Not an impression. A declaration from the throne. And when the Almighty speaks, creation bows, time responds, and eternity leans in. The clocks of heaven and earth begin to align, and those who walk in the Spirit begin to feel the weight of a coming glory, a glory that cannot be delayed and cannot be denied. The earth is trembling because the Lord is drawing near. There is a stirring in the heavens, a movement in the spirit realm, an urgency in the air, and yet many still sleep. Many still cling to the illusion of normal, the comfort of routine, the safety of what has always been. But there is no more normal. There is no going back. The bridge behind you is burning. The path before you is opening. And the Lord is standing at the threshold calling your name. Not as a judge, but as a lover. Not as a master demanding labor, but as a father yearning for the return of his child. 3 days. That is all. For some, it will be the breaking of dawn. For others, it will be the setting of the sun. The same wind that parts the sea for one will bring it crashing down for another. The same fire that purifies will also consume. The difference will not be in the wind or the fire, but in the heart that receives it. He is drawing near, and his nearness is not always gentle. It overturns tables, it exposes motives, it shatters illusions, it confronts pride, it dismantles facades, but only to make room for what is real, for what is holy, for what is eternal. He is not impressed with appearances. He is not swayed by eloquence. He is not moved by show. He is moved by hunger, by tears shed in secret, by whispered prayers in the middle of the night, by hearts that say, whatever it takes, Lord, not my will, but yours. And to those hearts, he will come. He will come like the rushing wind in the upper room. He will come like the still small voice on the mountain. He will come like rain on the dry ground, like oil on the barren altar. He will come to heal, to restore, to resurrect. But he will also come to refine, to sift, to prune, because only the surrendered can carry the sacred. Only the emptied can be filled. Only the broken can reveal the beauty of the potter's hand. This is not the time to argue over doctrine. This is not the time to measure opinions. This is the time to fall on your face, to rend your heart and not your garments, to cry out between the porch and the altar, "Spare your people, O Lord." Because the hour is critical. The gates are open. The Spirit is hovering, and the voice of the Lord is thundering, though few perceive it. 3 days. He has said it. And he is not a man that he should lie. He is not slow in keeping his promises, but he moves according to the counsel of his will, and his will is now in motion. You must understand, this is not just about your breakthrough. It's not just about your miracle. This is bigger. This is kingdom. This is harvest. This is about nations, about generations, about destinies written in the scrolls of heaven long before you were born. And now you stand on the edge of their fulfillment. What will you do? Will you hesitate at the water's edge like the children of Israel? Or will you step in like Joshua and see the river part? Will you hide in the cave like Elijah? Or will you stand on the mountain and hear his voice? Will you sleep like the 5 foolish virgins? Or will you be found with oil trimmed and ready at the sound of his coming? He is giving you 3 days to come back. Not just in word, but in spirit and in truth. Lay down the distractions, put aside the noise, silence the voices that pull you away from the narrow road. You were not made for this world. You were not born to blend in. You were not called to comfort. You were called to glory, to fire, to the cross, and to the crown. There is a commissioning in these 3 days. He is marking messengers, raising up intercessors, awakening prophets, anointing evangelists, not by human standards, not with titles or ceremonies, but with his hand, his oil, his authority. You will feel it in your bones. You will feel it in your dreams. You will feel it in the tears you cannot explain, because he is calling you deeper. You have been ankle deep. Some of you have waded to your knees, but now he is calling you to the depths where your feet can no longer touch the bottom, where you must trust the current of his Spirit, where control is surrendered and faith becomes your compass. The next 3 days are a door. He is the door, and he is inviting you to walk through, not casually, not with 1 foot in and 1 foot out, but with full abandonment, because on the other side of this obedience, there is a shaking. But for the faithful, the shaking will only reveal what was hidden. The glory will rise, the light will break forth like the dawn. The promises will come alive, and the favor of the Lord will rest upon you like a mantle. You must choose. You must move.
You must act in faith.
No more delay, no more excuses, no more postponing your obedience. He is not interested in half-hearted offerings. He is not waiting for your perfection. He is looking for your surrender. The widow with the last jar of oil, she didn't have much, but she poured it. The boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish, he didn't know the plan, but he gave it. The woman with the alabaster jar, she didn't wait for permission, she broke it. Now it's your turn. What will you pour? What will you give? What will you break before him? Because the altar is being rebuilt, not of stones made by man, but of hearts yielded in secret. That is where the fire falls. That is where the glory comes. And when it comes, everything changes. The things that tormented you for years will lose their grip. The prayers that felt like whispers in the wind will suddenly thunder in the heavens. The dreams that lay dormant will begin to stir and stretch and breathe again, because the breath of God is coming. The same breath that hovered over the waters in the beginning. The same breath that filled Adam's lungs with life, the same breath that raised Jesus from the grave. It is coming again, not to visit, but to dwell, not to inspire, but to ignite, not to suggest, but to send. You were not saved to sit. You were not redeemed to be silent. You were not delivered to disappear. You were born for this moment. He placed you here. He chose you. He appointed you to bear fruit. Fruit that remains. But first you must abide. First you must remain. First you must respond. 3 days. And what is written will unfold. It cannot be stopped.
But you still have a choice.
And what you do in this moment will echo far beyond it. He is calling your name, not like the crowd, not like the world, but like the gardener who stood outside the tomb and whispered, Mary. He is calling you back to that garden, back to the place of intimacy, back to the first love, back to the voice that still walks in the cool of the day, asking, where are you? Not because he doesn't know, but because he longs for your presence. He is not after your performance. He is after your heart. And if he has your heart, he will have your words. He will have your days. He will have your yes. And through that yes, he will move. He will shake the heavens. He will rend the veil. He will thunder from Zion. He will make a way in the wilderness. And those who once wandered will find home again. Because this is not the end. It is the beginning of something holy, something unshakable, something eternal. 3 days. That is what he said. And it is already unfolding. There is a trembling happening in the unseen. Not a fear-driven shaking, but a holy trembling. A trembling of the ground before a great arrival. A trembling of foundations making room for something weightier, more glorious than what came before. The angels know it. The heavens are stirring. The enemy senses it and is scrambling. And those who have ears to hear, they too are rising with a soundless urgency in their spirit.
Something is being birthed.
But birthing always comes with labor. Birthing always comes with groaning, with pressing, with pain. And what has been delayed is now coming to the surface. You've felt it, the heaviness, the intensity, the strange mix of anticipation and pressure. It is not random. It is the ache of destiny. It is the contraction before the delivery. It is the signal that the time is near. And he says again, 3 days. 3 days to lay down the distractions that have dulled your spirit. 3 days to silence the noise that has crowded out his voice. 3 days to tear down the altars built to other loves. 3 days to cleanse your eyes and anoint them with oil so that you may see again, not as man sees, but as heaven sees. Because when he moves, he does not wait for your comfort. He does not wait for your convenience. He does not wait for you to feel ready. He moves when the appointed time arrives, and the time is now. This is a divine interruption, a holy confrontation, a sacred shaking. He is confronting the idols of culture, the idols of performance, fame, pleasure, independence, image, the things that have been tolerated in the name of relevance, but have robbed the church of its power. He is calling his people back, not just in voice, but in power, not just in attendance, but in surrender, not just in tradition, but in truth. And in 3 days, you will see the first wave rise. You will see those who have been hidden begin to emerge, not by force, but by fire, not by marketing, but by mandate. They won't come with polished words, but with words that pierce. They won't echo trends, they will thunder with the sound of heaven. They won't be driven by applause, but by obedience. They will move in authority because they've been with him in the secret place. They've eaten the scroll. They've wept between porch and altar. They've been refined in the wilderness, and now their time is coming, and so is yours. But you must decide. You must come out from among them. You must shake the dust of delay from your feet. You must burn the backup plan and step into full trust. Because these 3 days are an invitation, but not everyone will accept it. Some will mock it. Some will minimize it. Some will sleep through it. And yet, those who respond will rise. They will step into the current of God's move, and they will not be carried by opinion, but by the Spirit. They will not bend under pressure, but stand in fire. And they will not fear the days ahead, because they are not walking in their own strength. He is releasing strategies from heaven. Strategies for families, for finances, for ministries, for cities. Keys that unlock doors that no man can shut. Blueprints written before time, now handed to those who have emptied their hands of lesser pursuits. But you must have clean hands and a pure heart. You must ascend the hill of the Lord, not in pretense, not in pride, but in repentance. He is not asking for perfection. He is asking for surrender.
The kind of surrender that says, even if I don't understand, I'll still go.
Even if I don't feel qualified, I'll still say yes. Even if it costs me everything, I will not turn back. That is the kind of heart he will trust with the fire of this next move. Because this is not a revival for entertainment. This is not a performance revival. This is a revival that will break chains in prisons. This is a revival that will empty out brothels. This is a revival that will burn in schoolyards, boardrooms, living rooms, and jail cells. This is a revival that will not be led by celebrities, but by the consecrated. Those who wept when no one was watching. Those who stayed when others walked away. Those who dug wells in dry places and waited for the rain. The rain is coming, but only those who prepare the ground will receive it. 3 days, and there will be a separation.